Hello everyone, welcome to For His Name's Sake. We are glad that you're here. Valentine and I have decided we're going to do something fun. We're going to do Christmas traditions around the world based off of the countries and nations that are either our subscribers or viewers are from. And this is purely from either someone made a comment and said, I'm from so-and-so country. And then my husband has a way of checking that out with his what do you call that, analytics or something, so he can find out too. And we thought that was kind of neat, and then say it in the language, Merry Christmas, in the language of the country. So we hope that you will have fun. We hope it doesn't put you to sleep, and we're sorry we're not festive and Christmas colors. All of our Christmas clothes are in storage right now. And
we're not wearing long sleeves because typical of Texas, it's 78 degrees.
Yep. Crazy weather.
No, Lord willing, it's supposed to go down again this week, but that's Texas for you. Your long sleeves one minute, short sleeves the next.
Yeah. So this is about the only thing that we have Christmassy here is this blanket here in the background. But that's okay. Okay, I'll let Valentine start us off with, these are not in alphabetical order, by the way, so we're just going to name off countries and say Merry Christmas in that particular language, and then give you a fun fact of how they celebrate Christmas there.
Disclaimer. We did look up pronunciations, but we're still going to say them wrong. It's nothing against you. So please be kind about that.
You can tell us down below in the comments below how to properly say that.
Phonetically, I guess.
And if we didn't mention your country, please don't get offended or be sad. We would be here all day probably, but we might be here all day anyway. But we apologize. You can put it down in your comments down below. Like, oh, you forgot to mention my country, or if you're new joining us today, you've never been here before and you're from another country that we did not talk about today, please, we would love to hear how you celebrate Christmas over there. Okay? All right, let's begin.
Okay. Bada din. And that's how they say big day. They don't really call Christmas. When I looked it up there, that's Google for you. Different variations for Merry Christmas. I couldn't find one, but India says Christmas is a big day, Bada din. And like Americans, they decorate their homes with lights, they go to midnight mass, they have festive food, but one thing I found interesting is they decorate their homes with mango or banana leaves.
That's neat.
I think it's pretty.
Yeah. Okay, next is, if I can say this correctly, Gezende Karsfeers. That's Afrikaans for South Africa. Christmas begins with Christmas Day and attending a Christmas service and followed by a festive meal.
Merry Christmas! That's how we say in the USA, and I'm sure other places that speak English too. And I think most people know how Americans celebrate all the festivities and everything, but one thing that's unique about Americans is they love Christmas movies. And I'm one of them. I prefer the classic Christmas movies. I know it's not really a Christmas movie. Some people disagree, but It's a Wonderful Life is my favorite.
And you like the Charlie Brown
Christmas
cartoons. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, Feliz Navidad. That's from Colombia. Christmas here is a festive celebration of many traditions. And one that stands out is it's called the Day of the Little Candles. It begins December 7, where everybody lights candles and lanterns in their homes, and it's supposed to be really pretty along the streets. So I thought that was kind of to commemorate the birth of Jesus.
Merry Christmas again from Canada. Although I think some provinces might say Happy Christmas. Since I think they're under British rule. I don't know my geography that well, bear with me, but I learned that in many provinces, the neighborhoods will have hockey games at their local rink or sometimes at their frozen pond. And then afterwards they go home for Christmas dinner.
That's nice, yeah. Okay, here's, we got some Arab countries. In some Arab countries, one must be discreet, so we were not told what Arab country we've got some viewers from, but they just said I'm watching from an Arab country. So we found two countries. One is in Syria, where they celebrate Christmas, and they say, and I may be saying this wrong, Eid Milad Majidin. which means Merry Christmas, in Syria. And I thought that was neat that camels bring presents to the children. That is so cute. And then in Lebanon, Eid Milad Majid. It almost sounds almost very similar. Yeah. That's Lebanon, and they have sprouted seeds are used to decorate churches and cribs. Cribs in honor of, baby Jesus. I thought that was cute.
That's cute. Yeah. Okay. Frohe Weihnachten. That's German for Merry Christmas. And like us, it's similar, and we've mentioned that we do the German traditions ourselves, or similar. One popular thing that they have is their famous fruit cake, Stollen or Christstollen or Weihnachtsstollen, and they put powdered sugar on it. It's supposed to represent the baby Jesus in swaddling clothes.
Oh yes, that's pretty neat idea. Yeah. Okay, here's in Pakistan they say either in Urdu or English. Urdu, and I may be pronouncing this wrong, Merry Christmas with an accent. There's special hymns after the vigil mass, and then fireworks in some places, and some people dance and exchange gifts.
Okay. This is really hard for me. Okay. Vrolijk Kerstfeest. That's Dutch. Ooh, that's hard language, but it's pretty. Christmas trees aren't put up until after Sinterklaas, which is on December 5th. And usually around December 7th is when they do the presents. But Sinterklaas is probably more important to them than Christmas Day. And Sinterklaas represents Santa, except he's a bishop. He's wearing the bishop clothing with the hat and all. Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, now we have Shangdang Kuai Le. That is Mandarin Chinese for Taiwan. An interesting fact about Taiwan that I did not know is only 4.5% of Taiwan's population is Christian. Wow. I did not know that, and I've been there before. Beautiful country in the mountains. Gorgeous. That's where I got my ears pierced, by the way. It was in Taiwan. I will never forget it. I was a teenager, and I went there with my mom, and that was the first time we got our ears pierced, and it was a wonderful experience and a beautiful country. And so there they celebrate, believe it or not, with just the small percentage of Christians that are there. They have what's called Christmas Land in New Taipei City, a festival with rides, carol singers, a Christmas market, and Taiwan's tallest Christmas tree is displayed. And that starts in mid-November already and goes all the way to the end of December.
Merry Christmas. That's Thailand. I couldn't find anything for their language, but Christmas over there is not a traditional holiday. Most of the population is Buddhist. Very few Christians in Thailand. And the majority of the Christmas festivities are in schools only. So, couldn't find much in Thailand, sad to say.
That is interesting, though. Yeah, been there too, but didn't know that. Okay, Merry Christmas, South Korea. Now, I thought this was interesting too. I thought that South Korea had a large Christian movement, but apparently I was wrong. There's not a whole lot of Christians celebrating Christmas in any way, and they consider it to be pagan in a lot of ways, and that time really is spent for couples to go on dates, kind of like Valentine's Day. They kind of celebrate that during this time. So that's all I could find on South Korea.
Xingden Kuai Le, that's Chinese, and just like what was that, Singapore? No, South Korea. They're very similar. They consider it a smallish holiday. It's not religious. Similar to Valentine's Day. It's more for young couples to go out, hang out. They might exchange small gifts, go with friends to see a movie, shopping. Kind of an ordinary day for them.
Interesting. Next is Merry Christmas, or in Tamil, Christmasaroundtheworld. That's in Tamil, which is the main language of Singapore. Christmas is celebrated there with Orchard Road. If you've been to Singapore before, Orchard Road is the main road with all the shops, and they set up a bunch of lights and just beautiful setup. I've been there during the Christmas time. It's gorgeous. Malls are decorated. They have live nativity sets. I mean, it's just, they just go all out. The whole city practically is just very festive oriented. They have gardens that they also light up. They have beautiful gardens, natural gardens that are just beautiful. So yeah, and that starts already, well, it just basically says January. I can't even read my own writing. I want to say it starts in November and goes through January 9, but I could be wrong on that. You can correct me down below if you're from Singapore and you're watching this.
Okay. Buon Natale. That's Italian. And they're into live nativities. Everyone gets together, especially in southern Italy. I'm guessing that's near Sicily. The locals will reenact a scene, including the mooing and braying of livestock. And it said that St. Francis of Assisi founded that tradition of having living nativities in 1223. And they call that Presepi Viventi. And it spread across the peninsula.
You said that very like you're from Italy yourself. Oh. That's very well done. Okay. Feliz Navidad. That's Venezuela. Put up a Christmas tree, but that's not the most important thing to them. Nativity sets are the most important thing to them. They go all out on that. Yeah, so that's the popular thing in Venezuela. That's, yeah.
Okay. Christmas, Nijima, or Heria Christmasi. That's Kenya, and there are over 68 languages in Kenya, so I chose the most popular, which is Swahili. So I'm so sorry if I butchered that up, but that is fascinating that there's that many languages.
Very.
In Kenya, the children often perform nativity plays. It's common to have the children in church perform on Christmas, and afterwards they are awarded gifts by the church.
That's sweet. Okay. Mary Karita Hitmete. That's in New Zealand. Of course, they speak English in New Zealand, but then they also have what's called the Maori tribe, and that's how they would say Merry Christmas. And in New Zealand, Christmas time is during the summertime, so a lot of time spent at the beaches. They'll have barbecues, festive picnics, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Mave Nikisimus. That's Zimbabwe, and there are 16 official languages in Zimbabwe. They do speak English, is probably the number one, because I would say most countries speak English. Just a minute. Hi guys, if there was a little break, it's because we saw a friend and we wanted to say hello to her. And it's always nice to see her.
Yes.
So the last country I was talking about was Zimbabwe. There's 16 official languages, and their homes are decorated with plants, often ivy, and sometimes a Christmas tree.
Okay, now you're going to have to push play. This next country, it had a different writing and then a different pronunciation of how to say Merry Christmas, and this is from Myanmar. So hopefully
their
you can
language
hear,
is Burmese.
Is Burmese, yeah. So you'll have to listen carefully.
Sorry about that. That was just too hard for us to pronounce.
Oh, you got that? Okay. And we could write it down for you, but it's not pronounced the same way that it's written. And the interesting thing about Christmas there that I thought was neat is that all the houses along the main streets in the cities will open up their homes and sell items. I thought that was so sweet. Kind of like miniature garage sales that we have here in the United States. Just sell a bunch of items and people can walk into the homes and buy the things right there inside the homes. I thought that was so neat. So that's a main festivity that they do there for Christmas.
Okay. Maligayang Pasko. I know I didn't say that correctly. That's from the Philippines. And their Christmas starts in September already. And it lasts through December. It's the longest Christmas season in the world, so I researched. And families carry star lanterns to church. Really pretty when I saw the pictures of it.
That sounds pretty, yes. Okay. Merry Christmas. But a Valentine can say it better in the accent of
Oh no.
Australia.
Oh, no.
I can't even say it properly in the where she's got a friend there, but
Hello, friend.
hello. And by the way, I learned that Australia is not just a continent anymore. It's actually considered a country, and we've got actually at least we've got several that are within different countries within the continent, if that makes any sense. Or I think they're called, what are those, like Queensland, for example, and the
Provinces?
different.
I think they're actually called states.
Like states.
Yeah. States there too.
So we've got several, at least two or three that are from different states within the country and continent of Australia. So yeah, so there the same thing as New Zealand, because it's during the summertime. A lot of time is spent at the beach, barbecues, festive picnics. That's mainly what's going on in Australia, in the countries or states within Australia.
Happy Christmas. That's how they say Merry Christmas in United Kingdom. In United Kingdom consists of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. And the thing they like to do there is visiting Christmas markets. I would say most of their traditions are similar probably to the U.S.
Yeah, probably. And I think finally, but certainly not least, is, because we came up with 24, is Feliz Natal. And that's Portuguese for Brazil, in Brazil. And they celebrate mainly on Christmas Eve. And it's called Ceia de Natal. I used to be able to speak fluent Portuguese. That's gone now. Ceia de Natal, and is followed by a midnight mass. So the Ceia de Natal is a Christmas Eve dinner, very large dinner, followed by a midnight mass. So I think that we did all 24 that we know of. We may have left some out, and if we didn't mention your country, again, please mention it down below in the comments, or if you're joining us for the first time today, we're glad that you're here, and we hope that you'll come back.
Or if Google got it wrong and you're like, that's not what traditions we do. Bear with us, it's Google. So if there's a tradition that you do differently, or you feel like your country does more of than what we mentioned, please feel free to leave it down below. We love anything international.
Yes.
I mean, she's been around the world. I've been across the world myself, and we like to go to see more places.
Exactly. And if you didn't have a chance, if you're just from the United States and you didn't have a chance to ever go across the world, that's okay. We'd still like to hear how you celebrate Christmas. So go ahead and put that down in the comments down below. We would love to know how you celebrate this time of the year with your family, friends, or just on your own.
I mean, America is called the melting pot because there's so many cultures. So tell us what culture you do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
All right. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, click that notification bell. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye-bye.